Take two. There was a previous stream which I'm going to annihilate from Twitch as soon as it is up there for me to actually, which should be momentarily. Oh yeah, here it is. Past broadcast. Yeah, 6 minutes. I'm getting rid of that. I don't even want anybody to see that because. Oh wait, why did it not? Why didn't it? It didn't update the banner. Hold on a minute. Why did it not update the banner? It didn't update the banner. Oh, did I not update the banner? I didn't hit save, did I? I didn't hit save. I didn't. My fault. Okay. Let's go back. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to this. Oh man, I really like that pixelate transition. So I'll repeat what I said because I only talked for a few minutes before I had to end the other stream, which I have now deleted. So no one will see that because that's horrific. So I had watched what I had said because I hadn't said much, but I was checking something and that's when the phone rang. So it's okay because now I don't even have to stop to check. I have the information in hand. So I watched a video about Scorn on a YouTube channel that I believe it's called Skill Up with no spaces. I don't know if it's Skill Space Up or Skill Up, but if you look Scorn Skill Up, you'll find the video I'm talking about. It's about 14 minutes, and it's essentially a impressions video or kind of a preview video because, as I said in the last stream, Scorn Prologue, which I think is what it's called, or Scorn the Prologue chapter, or the Prologue chapter of Scorn, was released a few days ago to people who backed the project. I was unaware that there were actually 2 Kickstarter campaigns for this. I only backed the one that was apparently successful. I didn't get on board with the one that failed. And I had mentioned in the last video that it's an exclusive to Xbox, or will be an exclusive to Xbox. And the Prologue chapter is actually exclusive, I believe. Not exclusive, but it's only being released to PC, probably because they don't have some method to do it on Xbox. So I don't want to say exclusive as if that's really it sounds more of a technical thing than a conscious, okay, we only want to release it here decision. So I don't really know the mechanics of that. But right now, as far as I'm aware, the Prologue chapter is only out on the PC platform. And I think it might only be on Steam. I'm somewhat unclear on all the mechanics of how this thing is released. But it is a limited release thing. So not every place... You can't, what's the word for it? You can't play it everywhere at the moment. So that was my larger point was, okay, because some people said, how are you playing this? And it's, well, because I backed it for Steam, so I have it. So anyway, in that Skill Up video, the interesting thing was at one point, it was stated that the performance of the game was really bad. I mean, outright from... the way it was described, top to bottom bad. And I'm going to switch to the gameplay now. I'm just going to go ahead and do the pixelate. That's great. I don't even know if I need a transition thing in between that. So, and you should be hearing the sound. I mean, there's nobody listening, but uh-oh. Oh, my screen got a little wonky. I think I may have scrambled something. Hold on. Let me see if, oh, yeah, there's a big empty block in my... I think it didn't like me switching back and forth. Let me restart the game. I don't think it liked that. I do not think it enjoyed me doing that. So hold on here. Let me restart Scorn again. And hold on. I got to change that background graphic because that's not really accurate anymore. Okay. See Twitch Studio overlay. So I think it's coming up. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it's got this now. All right. Anyway. So it was mentioned that the performance was really bad, and I was fascinated by that because if you saw the stream yesterday, if you watched that video, there is one point where I experienced a little bit of stuttering. I got into a big area, and the game hitched a bit. And I noticed that the Twitch Studio dropped a few frames, but I don't believe that's the game because I didn't notice that. I only noticed it in the one area. So I thought, oh, that's interesting because my machine, my PC, is not particularly new. I built this machine, I'm going to say 4 years ago, which in PC time is a long time. He is, or they are, I don't actually know. The person who did the video said that they were using I believe a 2070 Ti. And I'm using a 2070, although I don't believe mine does not say Ti, so I'm assuming it's not. I'm also using a 2070. But again, my processor, I don't know the rig that was being used on the other side. I only heard the video card, which is the same. So unless that computer is also older, the only thing I can think is my machine does have 64 gigabytes of RAM. I built this as a Photoshop machine more than a gaming machine. So I have it tailored more towards being able to do Photoshop stuff. So that is possibly the only reason why, but I did not have any of the, at least, or my eyes are just so bad, which is possible, that I didn't notice any of this stuff. But I certainly would not have described the performance as being bad. And he's playing at 1440. Again, they, he, she, whatever it is. That person was playing at 1440, and so am I. So even that setting, if that recording had been of 4K, that would at least more explain it. Oh, okay, the resolution is 4K. I'm only playing at 1440. That would make sense. But also, that video was also at 1440. So I don't know. Look, you can watch yesterday's video. You're going to watch this. I'm assuming if you started it, you're going to watch it. You can see if you're seeing what was being discussed in that video, because I did not have what I would call appreciable performance problems. And again, the video might drop frames, so you might see some of that there, but I'm saying that me as the player, myself, as playing this game, I did not encounter anything that I would describe as serious performance issues. That is not to take away from that other video. I'm not saying that those issues weren't encountered. It's odd to me that I didn't have the issues because, again, this is not a newer machine. So I'm doing it right now because the statement was something about when you move the camera, there's blur. Well, there is blur, but I think that's intentional. I'm doing it right now. So I'm pretty sure that's on purpose. That's motion blur. So I don't know, unless there's a setting for that, I will look. Is there a motion blur setting? No. Okay, so you're seeing my settings. So here, 1440. Fidelity FX is off. I don't even know what that is, but I don't know what the sharpness is. That's the default setting. VSync is on. So that's 60, which is fine for me. I did not I do remember some mention of the frame rate jumping all over the place. But I mean, I have VSync on, so maybe that's it. Overall quality is high. I mean, there's probably a very high. Now, okay, that's interesting. So recommended is medium. But it defaulted to high. Is there a higher? No, there's just high, medium, and low. Or custom. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it on high because that's what it was. So those are my settings. I did not set any of this. This is what the game, so I guess the 1440 up there, it's yellow, so I guess that means it thought that was recommended. But it set it to high, not me. Now, the other thing is, I don't know if you see up here, playtime, hour 120. That video, because I had said in my last one I wasn't sure how long this prologue was, it sounded like it's around 90 minutes. But I'm sure a good chunk of this was me in that one puzzle. So I don't really know how long this video is going to be. I'll just upfront that with you right now. This may be a very short video because maybe I'm right near the end. I don't know. I also stopped a lot to just look at things because I think, as the Skill Up video pointed out, somebody asked me, I was talking this and I was asked, what kind of game is it? And I said the closest thing, which is Skill Up video also said this, was a puzzle game. Skill Up pointed out that puzzle game, walking simulator, shooter, a little, but no one thing. I would agree with that. I don't think it is any one thing. It is what it is, and that's I don't know. Whatever you would describe this as. I mean, if you watch the video, you're getting a sense. This was my first playthrough, by the way. That video is not me playing through it the fourth or fifth time, anything like that. This is one playthrough where I'm just trying to figure it out. So I did notice in the Skill Up video, though, I think I did find a solution to one thing that I was trying to work out. So that was actually kind of an advantage. I couldn't figure out what to do with that thing. And I think I know what to do with it now. Because I think in the Skill Up video it showed it. So watch, this will be the end of the game. This is gonna be, you watch. This is gonna, wait, I did unmute my mic, did I? Yeah, okay, it's showing. This is gonna, watch, this will be the last thing in the game. Where was that thing I saw? I saw something. Well, I did not put it there. Let's see. Because I thought I saw. Yeah, there it is. Oh, there it is. No, go back. How did I not notice this last time? Did this not happen? Did I not notice this happening? Okay, how do I? I did not figure this out last time. It will be hysterical. This is the this happens. Some door opens. I walk through it. It turns white and says, "Play Scorn when it's out on blah 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 blah." That would be very very funny. Okay, so how do I know where to put this thing? Or does it go up there? Okay, it doesn't work there. Let me bring it back. Go up. It does go up. What's this? Oh, ooh, too far. Whoa! Whoa, come back. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. Yep, go. There we go. I cannot believe I spent a long time studying that. Well, there's got to be a little bit more to the game because I don't have the disc that I think goes into that particular control slot. So I don't think this will be the end of the game. But let's see. I could be. So I'm not really clear on how much more of this game there is for me to actually experience. Like I said, I could walk through the store and the game ends, which would be very... If that's the case... Oh, no, I can't move the if in fact this is the end of the game right here... Oh, wait, where's that? Then I'll probably just edit this together with the other one for YouTube, just provide... Because it's kind of pointless to have it. So how do I get to where that is? Well, there's got to be some point. It can't be the end of it because it's a ring. So let's see. Is there another way out of here? No, it's not that. I've kind of forgotten where I am now. I must not have come this way though because there's no enemies. If I was backtracking, there would have been the enemies there. God, this is such a gorgeous game. I really am not going to care about anything. See, I'm not experiencing any type of noticeable performance issues. I'm really not. Not any that would... Okay, let's see. Am I supposed to use this? Oh, well, if it comes up. I'm not really sure what the door's coming down. Assume that means I have to put another thing in. Okay. So these I actually have to kill. First time I went through here, for those who see the first video. Wish there was only one person. The first video I wasn't aware these things were actually coming. I wasn't even coming yet. Everybody. So I assume, where did that other thing go? Alright, it's right there. Alright, I see it. Alright, at least this one is at least understandable compared to the other. Well, I shouldn't say. The other puzzle was probably very understandable to the right people. I'm just a idiot, so I didn't pick up how this is. This one is not. This one I picked up quicker, although I missed what the other thing was for a while. Alright, so now I gotta move that, I'm sure, to right there's the portal. Light, it's clear that light is the indicator for this game. It's light indicates that there's some kind of usage or interest. Man, the sound in this game is just so good. It's so good. I really, even if this game was running like crap, I think I'd still play it. But it's not. That's what's weird, is that video was... And even the video, maybe this is one of those things where it's that's hysterical. So I played up to the last 5 minutes of the game, or literally probably the last 3 minutes if you were good at this. So that's an extraordinarily short video, everybody, because I've played through the whole game. That's the prologue. You know what though? You know what I'm gonna do? Go back to the main menu. I'm gonna wander around this a little bit though, because now that I understand it, I mean that's there is no continue. It's okay. What does continue do? I'm just curious. Is it just gonna be back where I was standing in front of the thing? It would have to be, right? Because I played through it. There's nothing else. Yeah, it's just standing right here. It's literally the last thing before the cinematic play. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. I don't think there's anything else to do unless there's Easter eggs or something. But it's interesting because so this is obvious. There's that cinematic is clearly, or at least, God, look at this thing. I really kind of wish I wasn't holding the gun because before you could see everything. So I may just start again just to look at this thing. But because they've got all this here, there's no reason to have this ramp accessible if this isn't in fact probably. I mean, it's a 14 gigabyte file. That seems like a lot for simply a prologue. I could be wrong. This could be a 300 gigabyte game for all I know. But I have a hunch there's probably a lot more in here. That there's something that happens. Maybe the cinematic is different. Maybe when that triggers, you don't get beaten up by the floor or something. So I think there's definitely more here than. By the way, I don't think in the other gameplay video I ever swore, and yet there is no way I could call this a safe for work video. Whoa, why did the gun go away? The gun went away because I was doing this. That's interesting, and then it comes back. Huh. I don't know why that's happening. But yeah, there's not really. I'll just start a new game. Well, I mean, you could actually, because I didn't capture the opening cinematic. There may be some interest in that. I don't know. But it feels like there's more functioning parts of this game than the prologue is. So I think there's more of it than is being, because there was a whole room with a saw blade that never got used. So see, it's sealed up behind me. That's the problem. So it got sealed up. There was a room with a saw blade, which I don't think I ever used. It was there. Oh, yeah, because I remember coming in here and seeing the bodies. You know, let's do that. Let's start a new game. I mean, I'm not going to play through the entire thing, although I guess I could. I guess I could probably play through the whole thing. But there was a room with a saw blade, and it never got used. So let's do a new game. I'll select slot. I don't know why I'll care about slot 2, but let's go ahead and do that. New game. All right, here we go. Just so you can see the opening cinematic. Which I like when games do this. And it is a cinematic. This will not become playable. This is an opening movie. So you'll be able to see that. But, I mean, am I supposed to be a human? Because those teeth don't look human to me. Maybe that's never going to get explained. I'm fine with that. If it's never explained, that's not going to bother me. If they never clarify what the player is. Certainly the player looks humanoid. I mean, it has 5 fingers. There's 5 fingers on it. I'm going to see in a minute. Yeah, that's 5 fingers. So and there, oh, interesting. The skin changed. You only see it for a second. There's a skin difference. The hands were different. So that indicates that the skin was stripped off. Because those hands were more fleshy. I don't know if it's hard to see. Some event happened. Yes. Oh, maybe it's no. Is the skin? There's no indication of a passage of time. Oh, no, there is. I'm sorry. Yes, there is, because he was seeing, he being the character, was seeing the past. In the past, there was flesh. Then in the future. Is this a Hellraiser prequel? Is this tied into the Hulu movie? Perhaps. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. It's not. This game's been in development long before there was the Hellraiser reboot, which I am greatly looking forward to, I have to say. It looks great. And yet, I being one of these people where every time I see some fool who says, oh, why did they make Pinhead a female? I just want to yell at that person. Did you read the book? Pinhead is a female in the book. But I'm not going to spend a whole video talking about that, because people who say those things obviously don't really care about what the source material is. Let me get a drink of water. So here we are at the beginning. And I will say, the skill up video also validated my memory here. My memory is usually very suspect. But the skill up video also pointed out that the beta, the first version that was put out, is extraordinarily different than this. There is more combat. It is a much different experience than this. Also far less polished. I mean, it didn't look this good. This is just so good. I mean, we're just going to do a little bit of walking around and looking at things. Because, I mean, if that's the blurry stuff, is that the blur that the video was referring to? I guess it could be. That doesn't bother me. I guess it's... Because there was also mention of motion sickness, and not that I get particularly motion sick, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, I guess there is a blurring that happens even with a slight mouse move. But I don't know. That doesn't bother me. But okay, now I'm seeing it. This is the motion blur is that. Sorry, I'm not trying to make anybody sick. I'm trying to point out the difference. But there is a shimmer, or there's like a Vaseline effect. You seeing that? So I don't want to make anybody sick. I won't do too much more of that. But in fact, I'll try to go slowly just because I don't want to make anybody ill. But yeah, it doesn't. I didn't even notice it the first time. I don't know that I would have noticed it had it not been pointed out in that video. And I also like how little music there is, that the music is very intentionally used. Because I'm looking, yeah, it happens even if you're just, I'm not moving the mouse at all. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I see it, but I have a feeling I'll forget about it very quickly because I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me, but I do want to stop and observe how much has gone into this. And again, I'm not playing on highest settings or anything like that. And in fact, the stream is 1080, so that's even being chopped a bit. So it's not going to be maybe not as evident on the stream. And then when it goes to YouTube, of course, it's going to get compressed even more. So there will be parts of this that are not going to be as appreciable. And unfortunately, there's no crouch option. There's the body, though, if you want to see the body. So I pointed this out that I like the fact that it turns when I just turn the mouse without me having to do anything. Maybe that's a minor thing, but I appreciate it. Get a little bit of... Yeah, it's basically, this is a skinned person. It sure looks human, like a human being relatively to me. There's a sort of an indication of a rib cage, the leg musculature, the feet. Feet do have it's 5 digits. So this does appear to be a stripped down human being. Or humanoid, I guess. I do wish there was some way to illuminate this stuff, that you had some kind of internal luminescence or a way to... Because I would like to see some of this, and maybe there will be a mode that will let you turn the light way up. I don't know. Because I think that some of the value of this is much like Alien Isolation, is the design is probably the most significant. I mean, just look at how cinematic even. And I like the fact that there's no UI, no HUD, no nothing. This is a totally visual experience. You're just seeing everything. There's nothing to get in the way. I mean, yes, when I had the gun, there was the ammo stuff. What I would hope is that fades out. I would actually hope you could actually lower the gun too. That would be nice. So you could, because this is the ideal thing. I could play a game for hours that is just me wandering through areas like this, and just, I mean, look at how that opens up. And that's use of lighting, but that's also very intentionally designed. So that look at the way I mean, it just looks so good. And unfortunately, you can't walk any slower. I can't walk any slower. Maybe if I had an analog, if I was using a controller, it would work where I could walk slower. But I could eat this stuff up. I mean, and the fact that there's so little music, I think adds a lot to it. I think that's very important. Let's see, then there's little use of sound effects. Little things that indicate that there's motion and movement, even if there isn't any. I'm trying to just stare at this and see if I see any really. Oh yeah. Wait. I'm trying to tell if it's implied motion from what my mind is expecting, or if there's actual animation happening at some of these ropes and things. I mean, there's the mist. I see the mist, and maybe that will convey some of it. Yeah, I don't think those tendrils are actually moving. Oh, wait. Is that moving, or is that the mist? Oh, no, it is moving. They are very, very slightly moving. At least the ones in the upper... See where the... Okay, so from the center point, it would be at about 11 o'clock. There's the two sets of little tendrils hanging down. The longer ones appear to be moving to my eye. Hold on, I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, no, it's moving. Look, it just moved. So, yeah, see, that's what I was curious about, because that's a really small detail. Some people will never stop and look at that. But this is the kind of game where I want to stop and look at that. I'm not... And that's why I'm actually really happy... At least the prologue, it will be interesting to see how the game balances this type of thing. I don't want to be driven forward by combat. I mean, there can be combat sequences, there can be chase sequences, there should be I do believe there's going to be a horror element to this thing. But I really like just the idea of wandering through this. I don't even know if I need, I think the skill up video also said this, where it even has to be a narrative. I've not detected one in the prologue. Outside of humanoid creature with the ability to move and manipulate arms and legs is in a hellscape. That's the narrative thus far. But really, I could just sit here and look at this stuff. I mean, that is immediately making me think of the space jockey scene from Alien, which I'm sure is intentional. I mean, there's not a space jockey, but even the motion of that platform is evocative of the space jockey kind of laying back with the telescope or whatever it was shooting off. So yeah, I could just look at this game all day, and I really don't need much else from it. Lighting decisions, all this stuff is I like. I don't think I can get through the story yet. I think I can just go down through this little panel. It's just a gorgeous game. I really cannot imagine getting tired of this, because I have a feeling, this is just one area. Even if it is all just, just look at some of the way this stuff is. October's a really good month to be releasing this game. That was very smart. Halloween month is good to be releasing this game. This is the story. Yeah, look, it's like a flush on just in particular. Fascinating. We're going to see how that happens. Because it does not look like a... I would imagine that even the air brushing against your nerve endings in this state would be extraordinarily bad. Also, falling down like this doesn't seem like you'd be able to move much. But yeah, I'm applying realistic logic to something that doesn't require. I mean, look at the lighting. Just like that's like a painting, right? I mean, that looks like something that you would find in storyboard or production art or some kind of just print of just an alien environment. That's a beautiful piece of work from that side. No, I can't go around it. I was going to try to see from the other side, but something even like that. Like all that. Look at that little detail in the chair itself. Gross! But great. That looks like a face on the wall there with an open screaming mouth, almost like a sea monster that has some kind of headgear on. And that, painting. I mean, painting, all of it. Painting. Anyway, I'm not going to do that the whole video. I apologize. That's probably extraordinarily annoying, but it makes a point. Even something like this with just the lighting. Even something as seemingly empty as that would be amazing. Sorry if you heard my phone screaming in the background. I think with this mic you won't. But yeah. Wait. Oh, I have to go get the thing first. Okay, that's right. Head over to, where is the arm thing? There's an arm thing. Where was it? So much for me being able to retain my knowledge and playing. Oh, here it is. Here it is, right there. Okay, here we go. All right. interesting, the reaction now is that hurts. So it does not seem to be an indication of pain once the appendage is on. Man, look at that. Okay. Yeah, we'll just play through the whole... Now that I know where everything goes and how everything works, it might be a lot faster. Yep. Got it. Okay. Look at the glove. The gauntlet is attached. Okay, so let's go here. This is a very nice way to introduce the simple idea of how this works. It's an extraordinarily simple puzzle. I was curious if that would kill me. It actually just stops. And then it keeps going. Interesting, so it doesn't kill you. I'm sort of surprised. I wonder if in the final game you can just get killed by doing that. I wouldn't be shocked. Let's put it that way. I would not be surprised by that. So now I know where I'm going with this, which is I have to take the stairwell up. So where was the stairway up? I think it was over here. Man, I mean, just look at this. Let's just stop. Yeah, and there's the egg stuff, which I didn't even notice the first time, of course. Now I know it's there. This game is it's just a stunningly beautiful game. It really is. It really is. So yeah, I imagine this will be a lot faster now because I remember enough of how I should find the elevator. Once I find the elevator up, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I'm still gonna probably struggle with that egg puzzle. But it will be faster than... That's not the elevator. That's the egg assembly. So the elevator is in one of these chambers. See, like that? It feels like that would do something. Oh, it's not like that. It's just a small corridor. I like all this stuff. This is all really, really... Again, I really don't even care. Because some people are going to struggle... I know it right offhand. There are people who are going to struggle with this game because it doesn't have a cohesive narrative that's presented immediately. This very well could be a game where you have to fill in everything yourself. I would be surprised if it ever presents a straightforward story or even an indication of a story. I think this is going to be entirely, all right, you can just bring to this game what you want. That's my guess. We'll see. Let's head up. I don't even know. I was messing around. I was messing around with those controls for a long time when I first started this thing. Or it's to my left? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I mean, just look at that. This looks like pre-production artwork for Alien, or a Giger painting. Giger painting. And that's fine with me. I don't need anything else. I really don't. All right, so here's our egg room. And I struggled. We'll see how much I struggle with this time. So what was... That's the main control arm. So this is the movement arm. So this is essentially the thing that moves stuff. So let's see here. Let me get my angle right. So the first thing is to... Let's That's the double A. That's the right one. Okay, so that was because I don't think, this is a guess, I have a feeling that you cannot put the correct order of A's in place without breaking a pattern. I think this is really meant for the first time player to work out that this egg is the right egg, because when I tried this mechanism over here the first time, for those who, I don't know if who was watching saw the last one, but the first time when I tried this, the mechanism did not work on any eggs. So you're going to see this arm's going to grab this egg, it's going to move it there. I'll just let you watch it. so that you get the idea that, okay, that is the quote-unquote type of egg you need, but the challenge is you have to move the egg that has the second vegetation, and that's where the puzzle comes in, which I'm hoping I don't struggle with it for as long as let me situate my camera. Okay, so we'll just center that. So now this is all being done with the keyboard, so there's no more necessity for just looking at the puzzles. Hey man, thanks for stopping by. Enjoying this. This is my second run-through on this. Dimitri, it's good to see you, buddy. Not see you. Hear from you. I'm happy to stop by because I usually can't do videos at this time of day. This worked out, so. Is louder. Oh, is it? Okay. Hold on. I'll fix that. Well, first of all, let me move the mic. But second of all, let me go into the audio settings. Thank you for saying that, by the way. Let me knock the video or the audio down. Let's try that. All right. How's that? The game audio should be lower now. Hopefully. I'm not talking for a minute so you can hear it. All right, perfect. Okay. That might be because I messed with some audio settings yesterday for one of the shows that I did, so it may be that carried over to this. Okay, let's think about this. So, I should just go back to my video from yesterday and watch what I did. Because I'm gonna sit here and I know I'm gonna be screwing around with this for a while. Well, okay, so that I think this. Go up. Oh, no, yeah, that can go up. I think what I need to do is I need to be able to get that to be clear to here. So I think I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this down. I'm trying to be smarter about this than I was last time. This. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's move this. This guy over here. Bring it down. That's. Oh no! I think I actually solved it really fast by accident this time. Hold on. I did not solve it this quickly last time. If you watch the previous video, which... Oh no, I'm a moron. No, I can't do that because you can't go straight across. It has to go across the top. So I was going to say, did I really solve it that fast? No. I certainly did not. That would have been... I don't even know how to describe how unusual that would have been for me to solve a puzzle like this that fast. I knew it couldn't be that. I knew it couldn't be that. I mean, that would have been great, don't get me wrong, to have actually solved the puzzle that quickly. Because you'd think I did this yesterday, maybe I could remember, but I can't. Let's move. I'm trying to remember how I did this. No, that can't be right, because it's going to have to... Hold on, I'm thinking in my head. Just the loud strength of mine. Let's move this up. Let's move. This can come. Right? Yeah, that can come up. This can come all the way there. If we move this. Oh, that can't move that way. So this, let's move this to here. That gives me the ability to move this all the way down. Okay. Now I have to come back to K. It's going to have to come back up. I think we're going to have to be able to do... Hold on, now. If that comes down and that comes up... Okay, yeah, I know what I got to do. I think. Oh, well, actually, never mind. This is never going to have to come back, I don't think. So if I move these two... Oh, that won't work because I need a path. So I have to be able to move. Okay, think about this, because I'm going to have to get something into place. One of those two things is going to have to come here. Okay. Okay, because that has to... Because essentially what has to happen is this 2 thing is going to have to go across the entire top. So the 2 that are on the top... there is no... The shooting part, such as it is, really... There really isn't a shooting part. At least not in this prologue. It's very, very small. And it will come later. Assuming that this doesn't... I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. Because I don't want to make this another 40-minute video of me doing this. I'm just trying to work this out in my head. But the shooting part... There really isn't a shooting part. I don't know that I would... I don't know that I could call it a shooting part. Because it really isn't shooting. It's just... It's not. It's more of... There's a thing, there's a gun, at least in the beta one, which that video is on the YouTube channel, so you can go watch that. There is a gun that fires these metal pellets. That happens fairly quickly in the original beta that came out. In this, the prologue part, there's a gun that's got kind of a piston ram that comes out, almost like a punch gun, that you use it against, and it's sort of optional. I didn't actually realize I could kill the things that I started shooting with it. I just kind of tried it. But I don't think you even have to. I think you could actually skip that and it wouldn't matter. So, it is definitely not as much of a shooter as, at least not in the prologue. I don't know what the final game is going to have. The final game very well might have more shooting elements, but I get the feeling it won't. It just doesn't feel like that kind of game. That it's going to be as concerned about shooting elements. See, now I've got to be able to get... Let's see something. Let's try this. I mean, I was about to say I'm probably overthinking this, but I'm probably not thinking enough about it. So if I move this... See, there's got to be a way... No, that would be impossible. There is no way to do that. So there's got to be a way to get this thing. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, there is. Yes, there is a way. There is a way to do it, I think. No, it's not fully released until... It's about a month. October 21st is when the final version comes out, or, you know, the full release, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is a prologue that only came out for people who backed it on, I guess, Kickstarter. I don't even remember what I backed this on. But I believe it's Kickstarter. So they released this. But honestly, the rest of the game... It's only a month off. There can't be that much left to it outside of tweaks. I was saying at the very beginning of this that my hunch is that the... No, that can't work. What am I talking about? There's no way to do that. Is there a way to do that? Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. My hunch is that this prologue is... Because this was about a 14 gigabyte download. So I suspect there's a big chunk of the game that's already loaded into this. And so the game will... I don't remember whether I actually moved that thing. If I move this 4-1 down, I may have this. But then that can't be, because I have to move the other thing. I can't believe I can't remember the solution. The problem is I can't do anything else until I solve this. So I can't go any further in the game without this. Without this solved, nothing else happens. So I'm trying to, you know, I don't want to spend all this time with people watching me be a bumbling fool, but I have no option. This is the only way you're going to see what's coming next, unless you go watch the other video. Which is not me trying to advertise for the other video. I'm just saying the reality is you're not going to see it without the other video. But no, this is not the full release. This is the prologue chapter, which is about an hour and a half long. That's what I determined, because the beginning of this, which I think you missed, Dimitri, you really didn't quote-unquote miss anything, was literally I did 2 things and the game ended. So, yeah. Alright, so wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, no, I've almost got a way to do this. Hold on, I'm sort of, in my head, I'm kind of seeing how this might be. And I can move it down. Okay, hold on. I might have an idea of how to do this. Maybe. Alright, wait. I don't have it yet, but I think I'm close. I think I'm close to having it. So No, not that. This has to move. I think. Hold on, I gotta work this out for a minute. If that's coming up and that's coming over. Hold on. Jeez. This is a little weird because I don't use it to I mean, even if you were using WASD, this would be a little weird. But I don't use traditional mapping, so I'm kind of fighting myself a little bit with this because I don't use the normal mapping stuff. Because see what I think has to. Oh wait! If this comes down, right, and then I'm gonna grab this. No, back. This comes over. Keep it up there. Maybe. Hold on. I feel like I'm close to having it here. Close, which isn't having it. Close. Okay, let me think about this because I just have to clear these. These things just have to clear out. Do that. Yeah, I think I got it. I got it. Okay. I've got it. Okay, that didn't take me quite as long. I don't think this took as long as it did last time. Oh wait, was I? No, I think I'm okay. I'm okay. I move because just this has to get out of the way, and then that little one piece has to get out of the way. So if I tell me I might be one off. No, I'm okay. I think. No, I'm not. Ah, I'm so close to it. That's maddening. I'm right there, man. It's this one thing is now in the way, so I have to figure out. Okay, hold on. I gotta work this out. I gotta get this one stupid piece. It's completely obstructed. I can't do it that way. Oh man, I'm so close to having it too. Oh man, that's really irritating. Oh, you know what? This might not be as bad as I think. I think I know how to do it. Yeah, I think I got it. So what has to happen is this has to go over that empty spot. So what I'll do is... Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. That is pretty wild. I ordered a playmat of one of them, the Shieldred, which is, I guess, the most powerful one, from what I can tell. That one actually, they made a playmat of that one. So I actually got that because I'm like, well, why not? I don't know how these things. Magic puts out a lot of expansions. So a year from now, that playmat probably won't be available. Maybe it will. Oh, you mean all three cards? I actually managed to pull all three cards, believe it or not. I've never bought Magic cards in my entire life. Never. I bought a bunch of them, frankly. But I know somebody who plays it. There's actually my niece's boyfriend plays it, so they don't go to waste. So any of these cards, because I don't know these cards. So I've actually given him the cards. I'm like, well, here, you'll use it. So the ones that because I don't play. So I bought these cards, and I'm just sitting here going, all right, well, I have a lot of cards now. But I managed to actually get 3 Shieldreds, and they're the foil ones. I don't know if there's I think there is a non-foil version of the one I did, but I honestly am not even sure. And I managed to get 3 of them, which is really kind of miraculous. And they are going to be sending me artist proofs too. I obviously keep. Oh no, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to frame one each of every card I did. So I'm keeping one for sure. As an investment. Yeah, I guess they do go for money. All right, there it is. I did it. Okay. I feel like I did that fast. I feel like that only took me 10 minutes as opposed to 30 last time or whatever. It felt like a long time. So, all right, here we go. So we're going to get this thing. So this should go pretty fast now because I know what the rest of the steps are, and I don't think there's any other puzzles that are as intricate as this that rely on the level of actual manipulation that this one is. So I'll finish out this prologue, and then I'm going to do an art stream later, which maybe I'll work on the ELOS revamp I'm doing, if you want to see the magic stuff. Because I'm revamping that to be more conducive to like a sticker form or a shirt form than the original. I think that's what I'm going to do. Or I might do more work on the skull. I don't know. But I do have to watch another movie for the horror film, which is fitting that because the To Be tournament I do with Kapczynski. I just watched one, or I didn't finish it, one called Sharks of the Corn. And I can tell you objectively, it is one of the worst things I've watched in quite a while. I couldn't make it through it. It was that bad. It was that bad that I could not make it through it. I got to the... I said, I'm going to give this the halfway point. And if this thing doesn't improve, I'm not going to watch the rest of it. Because if you're this bad for half of your movie... And anybody who listens, I try to give these movies the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to dislike. I don't want to make it out that a movie is just terrible. I don't want to tell people, hey, here's a junk film. I don't get any joy out of that. That's a waste of my life. So I really, really wanted this movie to at least be entertaining, but it tried to play it straight, as opposed to being at least an attempt at comedy, and it just failed. I mean, ugh. So I gotta watch Killer Sofa next. I really hope Killer Sofa is at least funny. I think it is. I think it's meant to be funny. Okay, let's grab this guy. Or this thing. I don't even know if this is a person. It has appendages. This poor thing is gonna have a miserable experience. So, I'm just saying, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so you do this. And then we do this. And it's gonna place in the chair. I couldn't figure this out for the first time. Now I know exactly what's going on. Okay, so now... The interesting bit about this, I didn't show this to anybody who didn't see the first stream and may not watch the subsequent video, is there is a chamber that doesn't get used, as far as I can tell, in this prologue. Now, I'm just going to show this to you because whatever goes on in here is going to be horrible. Is it this one back here? One of them has, I mean, look at that. I could stare at that for 5 minutes. That's how great looking this game is. That's what I mean about, I really don't care if it works that well as a game, really, even. Because it doesn't, as you've seen, and look at that, there's another one. This game gives you no hints. You just have to figure it out, which I'm not, you know, I ain't the sharpest tack in the box. So, is this the one with the saw? Let's see. One of these has a saw blade. Now, it doesn't get used in here. Yeah, that. See that? Obviously, that is a functioning thing that's going to be in the final release. I have to assume. Otherwise, unless it's simply there as atmospheric additive, which if it is, man, because that's not going to get used in this prologue. You're going to see this room does not get used. Actually, I have a hunch if I actually, can I even get the guy in here? I don't even think I can get that thing in here. I don't think I can. I don't think there's a way. You know what? Let's find out. I've already finished the prologue. Why don't we just see what happens? We're here. Let's experiment on what happens. Is it a fail? Does the game actually fail for that condition if I kill the thing? I really hope I don't have to go get another one. That would be extraordinarily miserable to redo that puzzle again. Okay, so here's we're going to go into our overhead thing. Now, I don't even remember which room that was. Which of those rooms was that? It was right next to the arm. I remember that. So where is that? Where's that arm? Is it? I think it's got to be. Is it that one? Hold on, I'm trying to. This is a weird angle thing because it's. No, it's not that arm. It's the other one. It's that one. Okay, so that track. I'm gonna do that. That track is already where I want it to be, and then I want to make sure this track is like that. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm just curious. I want to see what this does because I didn't do this last time. I accidentally picked the correct path last time. Really didn't know I was doing it. I just did it. Okay, so we're gonna move this. So we're gonna go ahead and shovel this poor thing along and see where we end up. I think maybe I set him. I think I set it there last time. Oh no, that's where. See, that's where it has to go. You can't actually move it anymore. Okay, so then we hit this module. This is going to rip its carapace. See, that tears off. Or it attached? No, I guess it attached something. And this thing is not happy. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd want to be out too. 2 viewers, you know that you need to stream this thing. Yeah, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. This is purely a fun thing that I do here and there. There is no way, unless some major... Okay, I'm not going to say no way. If somebody comes in and says, I'll give you $1,000 a week to stream 8 hours a day, maybe. And that's the only way it's ever going to happen. Oh, see, it automatically went to the one that this is, you don't have a choice. This is set this way, so you cannot avoid this. Because this is where it did last time. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I forgot. I have to extract that thing first, which is not going to be fun. For him, or it, or she, or they, or whatever. I don't even know what that thing is. I don't even know if gender applies to a bunch of arms and legs in an egg. Yeah, I'm sorry, because I think one hand has or both hands have the fingers stuck together, so it's humanoid, sort of. This poor thing. I mean, again, I think I said in my last video, I hope this is some kind of child. This is Hitler in hell, and that would make this better. It just gets pumped. Not fun, folks. Not fun. I'm going to grab this arm, and I know exactly what to do this time, so this is going to be a lot quicker. So, yeah, in the last one, that was a long video. I don't know how long this is so far. The timer isn't up here where I can see it. Where is the main door? But the last one was about a 55 minutes, something like that. It was a long video. This will not be that long because I've solved this relatively quickly. Oh, is it the other one? Oh, no, wait, there's an arm thing. Where's the arm thing? That's right, there's an arm thing. I forgot. One of these tunnels has an arm thing just sticking out of the wall. You'll see. There it is, right there. That's it. So we stick that in there. There we go, because it needs that glove. Yeah, it needs that little spike, that RoboCop, organic RoboCop spike. That's what we need, and that will cause this to function. So I put this in here. I'm going to put this down. That will be the first set. Then I gotta go over to this one, and I do this with my hand. And this will then unlock the second section. Just falls down. These pieces of whatever just fall off. I mean, look at this thing. It's just fantastic. And I do love the fact that there's not an ongoing amount of noise and score. It doesn't ever do jump scares. It doesn't do anything cheap like that. It just looks magnificent and is able to completely rely on the art style, which is great. Okay. Yes, it's moving. A little bit. I like that. Yep. Oh, wow. There's another... Do I end up there, or is that maybe a part of the game that isn't released yet? Let's see. So this is the main... Yeah, I remember walking up to this because there were all the bodies there. Which do, I mean, those look like humanoid bodies. But also not. Oh, sorry, I guess there's nudity in this video. Well, this video was never safe for work to begin with. Creatures getting ripped in half and their heads chomped. Yeah, this was never, peace was never an option. This was never going to be a safe for work video anyway. So, my not swearing is the least of this game's things that makes it not safe for work. Oh, there's a body around here too. I remember seeing. Oh, there it is. That's the thing I was looking for. There was another body laying somewhere. I may have already missed that. Maybe it was at the foot of that other control panel. Oh, I need the gun for that. All right, so this is where I need the weapon, such as it is. There is a weapon that I have to go grab. I don't remember exactly where it is, but I'll find it. Yeah, look at this. I mean, just look at all this. This is just gorgeous stuff. I mean, just yep, there's the gun. Here's the weapon. This is a type of gun. This is not what was in the beta. The beta was similar. It was a similar looking weapon. See, in there, there were these beads that you would put in there, and that's what fired out of it. So those are actually projectiles, whereas this is a piston type of movement, which you'll see in a second. I'll show you. It's that. See, and that's almost got like a stamina meter. See, it's stamina. Now, see the balls that are at the top there? That's the ammo for what I assume is the other form of this gun. But I don't think there's any point where... No, in the prologue, there's no point where this thing gets ammo. This is entirely a piston-based gun. Or just like a kinetic weapon. Or, I don't know, what would the word be? What would the word be for something that just fires out like a ramrod? Not projectile, because projectile... Doesn't projectile mean it has to fire it? That opens up. We got little creatures that come out, and we have our alien oil derrick thing. So see, this is what I didn't quite get the last time, is 3 of these have to be inserted for the prologue to end. So 3 of these devices, and you'll see it. So that's taking that thing over to the other section, which you have to go through, and you'll see. At first, I didn't even realize I could hurt these things. And there's a point where I figure it out. I think I just tried this. Whoa! It didn't spin last time. That's new. But these things eject a mist that is harmful. See that? So I was just running through the mist as fast as possible. But that's low enough. Charge. Alright, so then we come to this main room. I mean, just look at this thing. This thing is so great. I mean, I just really can't get over how cool looking this whole thing is. It really is pretty outstanding. But I don't, you know, I don't think you want to sit here and listen to me talk about how amazing this game looks for 20 minutes. I mean, I could. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, interesting. Oh, that I don't think I even noticed that last time. That they moved in relation to the little bot thing. Interesting. So 2 of them are already here. I don't even think I noticed that. Man, I'm an idiot. I don't think I ever noticed that there were already 2 in the room. Okay, so we'll put that one in there. And you'll see that's going to, I think, lift one of these vents or whatever will. Yeah, that comes out. And then one of the doors, I believe, will still. Or, oh, I have to go activate it. I forgot. Go activate that. Let's come over here and we do the old submarine hatch. That opens the doors. Okay, yes. Gross, but it's great. And they got the lights on. Lights on. And you can see there's actual motion inside that light. You can see there's some kind of liquid or being is in there. I don't know. So that door opens up. And that's going to be where we end up, by the way, is over there. So now I'm going to come back to this control thing, and what I didn't even realize this one was already here. So I didn't even know how I got as far as I did with this last time. This will put in the second one, which I think will pop up. Do the same thing. The little module will come up. That will open another bit of those doors, or it might open the doors on the left. Oh, So way up here. Go ahead. There's the front module. I don't think it would have cared if I'd done the left module first. Do the center module. The sound design is just great. Okay. One because now I actually know what I'm doing in here. So we come back through here. Move this back up to the control module. Oh, sorry, not that. This. And this will now bring the final one up. I think. No. Wait, did I miss something? That's interesting. It's almost like it is working. Something? I may have missed something. Because there's one more. I need one more. There has to be one more that comes up. How do I trigger the final one? Maybe there was something that came out for me. That's what I get for saying this is going to go pretty quickly. Of course I forgot something. Let me... Because there needs to be one more that is not present yet. So, where is that? Trying to, or is there a module on the other side? Maybe it's because there's a module on the other side. Yes, I think that's what it is. I think I'm just mixing up the two sides. Yeah, that's it. I just mixed up the two sides of the room. Which, you know, normal person wouldn't do that, but here we go. This is a mirror image of the other room. So now these things will come out. This object will come out on the floor, and it's going to get carried into the other room. You know what? I don't think I realized until this playthrough that this is actually another side of the room. I thought I went back to the same place. That's why I just went back on the other side to the same module. Because I didn't even piece together that these were two different sides of this room. Yeah, I'm going to do real well at the puzzles in this game when it comes out. I don't predict at all that I'm going to spend 2 hours going in a circle. I know I'm not going to the right place right now. I'm just looking around. Because, see, there's all these sections where obviously there's stuff that's going to get done in here that the prologue doesn't cover. You know, there's this whole section over here. There's all kinds of stuff. I think that's actually the elevator, but this is too big to not be. Again, with a 14 gigabyte file, I would imagine that the entire first level. I'll say this. Just look at this game. I do just keep getting caught up in how beautiful this thing is. So my guess is that the thing you're going to see in a minute, the cinematic, is not going to happen in the main game. I think it's just going to keep going, because it just doesn't... I think the cinematic, in some ways, will be the same. That's fine. It doesn't really make... You're not necessarily really blocking me. That's the combat so far. You've seen it. That's the whole combat of this entire prologue. I really just cannot get over how stellar looking this title is. It is really remarkable how much they have captured. The Polish artist's name is Basinski, I think. But really Giger. I mean, this is mostly Giger, but there's also a lot of that. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, so I apologize. But there's a Polish artist who does a lot of this type of stuff as well. That this also is very evocative of. He does a lot of stuff in reds, a lot of veins, less of the purely biomechanical and more of almost like a fungi biological thing, mixing of human or you know, blood and tissue with viney type of stuff, veiny type of stuff, as opposed to Giger's more sexualized biomechanical stuff. But this is a hell of a melding. I mean, this is really putting the two... Jeez. I don't think I noticed that thing before. It's like a large skeletal hand or something. Or bone structure. It looks like a hand or... Yeah, it's got to be like some kind of hand. It's very long fingers. Okay. I don't know if we'll ever see what the genesis of all this is. Fine if we don't. Again, I don't really care if this narrative stays. Okay, so... a whole ramp that you can go up that this doesn't happen. So I have a feeling this is going to be different. I don't think it's going to be exactly like this. I think this event may happen, but I don't think you'll become trapped like this is showing. I think this is to end the prologue. Because I think what's going to happen, or you'll wake up afterwards, one or the other. Because now at this point the game's going to end. Whereas there's a whole ramp on the side there that's built that you can go up. So I have a feeling it just keeps going and that you won't get this. But anyway, that's Scorn. And I love it. I mean, I played through the whole prologue again. It still had the difficulty of that puzzle because I'm a buffoon. But I still like this a lot. So I really can't wait to play it. This has actually made me more, and as you know, you saw the same thing I did. I did not see any major performance problems that other video was pointing out. I wasn't experiencing them. Of course, now the main title screen has locked up, so that didn't happen last time, right? Yeah, it's locked up, but so that's not ideal, but you know, that's okay. But you know, it's not done. There's still a month of optimization, stuff like that. Oh, did it just completely crash? Oh, it sure did. Wow, did it crash? Well, that's fine. Yeah, look at that. Unreal Engine. Wow. That text is so small, I can't even read it. We are very sorry that this crashed. Well, I don't care. It's okay, Unreal, because I finished it. So I don't care. That's perfectly fine. So this has only made me more want to play this game. Just inside this little prologue, which is not that, you know, I hope a small portion of the game. I don't know how long it's going to be. I really don't care. This thing is a total atmospheric game for me. I am not concerned on length. I'm not concerned on if there are performance problems, as long as they are not game ending or constant. I'll put up with it. I don't care. When I see this kind of artistry and this type of unique design work, I'm going to put up with a whole bunch of things. So I am more, I mean, the beta had me interested. The beta was actually more frustrating because I kept dying. And maybe they adjusted the combat part for the prologue specifically because of that. Because I was getting killed left and right with these little creatures. And like I said, that video's up on the YouTube channel, so you can go find it. I believe so. I think that's correct. I think they are. I can tell you that in about 2 seconds. Scorn game. I think so. Because I know that the Chernobylite team was Russian. I know that. Also a great game. Yes. Is it Serbian? Okay. Well, if you've ever seen a Serbian film, then you certainly understand that it can get dark. Oh, yeah. Zadislaw Beksinski. I know I'm mispronouncing that as the other artist. Games inspired by the works of H.R. Giger and Zadislaw I know I'm destroying that name. I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. I tried. But, yeah. I think this game's great. So I can't wait. I'm very happy I backed it. I am thrilled that it's actually coming out. I am bummed that it's not going to be on every platform because I would love people to be able to experience this in any way they could. But that's the reality of the games industry now. There's nothing you can really do about that. But I was streaming for 1 hour and 15 minutes? That did not feel like over an hour to me. Holy crap. Okay, well, I guess that shows you when you like something you're playing, you just don't. I cannot believe it was that long. Okay, that's insane to me. Anyway, Scorn looks awesome, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy it unless there is some kind of critical thing that stops it from running. Short of it not running or running at 2 frames per second, I'm going to love this game. And based on the fact that this ran this well. Yeah, I guess it is because I had an audience. No, actually, it's just because so many games are alike to me now. So many games are the same thing, and they're very similar, and they're you just see the same kind of mechanics, the same kind of design, all that type of thing. And this feels so different and so visually unique. It's got a personality and an atmosphere that is already stuff I like in terms of the art itself. I feel like they struck a good balance in the horror is laid back. I have a feeling it's going to stack. I think this is going to be an escalating horror element, which I always think is better than just jump scares and the immediate stuff. I like that too. I like Resident Evil type stuff too, but there is something to be said for the slow burn. It is as you said, the East European. It's a non-American approach to storytelling and narrative and horror, and that stuff is appealing to me at this moment. I like the stuff that is not just, hey, let's have a cat scream and shriek and use loud clanging sounds to make you scared because we have a silent part and then you're just waiting for a plate to crash or a sound cue to come in, and that equals horror. It's overdone. Something like this where you don't know what's going on, the confusion and the mystery is part of the, and like when that little thing comes out and it's just groaning and you don't know what it is, and then you're destroying it, essentially you're killing this living being of some kind. That is much more effective horror to me than a ghost that jumps out of a hallway and shrieks and goes at you. Okay, that's fine, but I've seen it a million times before and it really isn't scary to me anymore. This is more of a creeping horror, and I dig that. So yeah, so this game has my attention. It did initially just from the art design, but playing the beta, playing the prologue, I'm liking it the more I'm getting to actually play it, on top of the fact that I already was interested from a purely visual perspective. So I'm not going to tell you that this game won't come out and be a disaster, but so far I'm getting no indication of that. So I hope that actually bears out in the final release, which when it comes out, you can be sure I will be playing it. I'll probably stream it a few times at least, and I will absolutely review it. So yeah, I can't wait. And I think it's day one Game Pass. So everybody who's got Game Pass will be able to play it. That at least is a positive, that people will be able to experience this game. And at some point, I'm sure it will come out on other platforms. It's just a shame that it won't immediately. But again, that's a game industry thing. It's a niche product, but you know what? There's a lot of horror game fans. There's not a lot of really good horror games that are like this. So I think that niche is a strong one, and if the game functions well, I think it's going to land with that audience very well, because it isn't zombies, it isn't vampires, it isn't Left 4 Dead, it's not any of what we've seen a lot of and a lot of imitators of. You know what? It may get terrible reviews, but honestly, here again, horror fans are used to bad reviews and just discounting that, because you're either on board with this type of thing automatically or you're not. So again, if it comes out and it's crashing every 5 minutes, yeah, that's a problem. I'm not going to excuse performance issues. If this thing doesn't function correctly, that's an issue. They're going to have to fix that. But if it works and it delivers this top to bottom, then I really don't care if they tore Saints Row up and down. And Lando and I have had a blast of that entire game so far. And that game, by all critical accounts, is horrible. Well, guess what? It's not for us. So I learned a long time ago that reviews don't always mean anything. In fact, often don't mean anything to me, because my brain ain't wired like a lot of other people. So I'm digging this thing. It keeps doing this, then like I'm on the train. That's it. So having said that, before my voice completely goes out, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close now. Thanks for stopping by, Dimitri, and I know some other people did, so I appreciate it. And I hope this has gotten you excited for this game, because I know I'm ready for it and I'm waiting for it. So again, every time I've gotten to dig into this game for a bit, I've gotten more and more excited for it to come out. Now it's only a month off, so that will give me enough time to hopefully finish Chernobylite out, because I like to finish games before I start new ones, which I also like quite a bit. Chernobylite's great. That reminds me a lot of Stalker. It's got that Stalker element, Stalker Fallout kind of thing happening. But I'm ready for something like this. It'll be a complete difference. So, yeah. Hey, I'm glad you're able to. I'm trying to do these at different times, because I know everybody's in different time zones. So I'm trying. It's not always easy, but... and if you did tune in now and you're going to be around later, I will probably do an art stream 2-3 hours from now, probably, because I have to go watch Killer Sofa now and hope that it's not as bad as Sharks of the Corn. And yeah. And then This week's show is going to be a fun one, and then Monday's show is going to be a fun one if you're into Star Trek, because it's all Star Trek. Which won't mean anything to people watching this later, but right now, yes, there's a couple of good shows to look forward to. And, this week's show, I'm sorry, when I'm saying this week's show, that would be the next, no, this is the one, it's going to come out in an hour. God, my time's so off because I'm not used to streaming at this point. So yeah, today's show is good. Today's show, not this week's, today's show is good. And then Monday's show is great. All right, I'm going to shut up now because I'm just rambling. So thanks for stopping by, and whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, whatever, wherever you are, have a wonderful rest of whatever it is. Take care.